Let's see how big he goes. Let's mark him first. Oh, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Please don't die. Oh my. I've kicked the first caster, the drain fluid, which is a stun on someone. Here comes the AoE. We need Aura Mastery for this. Whoa, bubble. Okay. That was some lovely damage. Here comes the next AoE. That really hits hard on these levels. It's quite fun. Again, we'll put the Harvester on focus for kicking. Don't pull aggro, Demon Hunter. Don't die. I don't want to pick you up off the floor. The weak aura I've got as well is really nice to show these little effects on people. You know when they're being targeted by at least one or two spells. If you ever see a number underneath them, you know they're taking a big, big hit in the next hit. Oh, tank, behave yourself. Okay, I'm going to switch this beacon onto the tank. He seems quite squishy. Again, double Vanguard pack, but we do have the Enrage. Make sure the tank's in between me and him. And then you've got the Soldier pack coming in as well. I'll have to answer Terra in a second. When before I started this, he wasn't online. Quickly kick that drain fluids. They seem to be on point when it comes to the D-Enrage, except this larger one. It's on 11 stacks. The more stacks the Vanguards are on, the more damage the tank takes. See, it's so misleading. The first couple of trash pulls here don't do too much damage. But when you get to the boss, you're expecting the same amount. There's no damage to heal. The only damage on the boss fight is when the worms will hit someone. So let's see how this goes. Normally with this, you'll have the debuffs going behind the boss. So one person's going to be marked. Okay, we're going to give him sacrifice. And we make sure the worms don't hit anyone. So you kill the worms before they get in contact with anyone. Let's throw out some damage whilst there's nothing happening. Oh, Terra, one sec, my man, one sec. Okay, he's moving to the behind, so we're going to dispel him, give him quick lay at hands. And again, we want to make sure that none of these worms hit us. This Demon Hunter's having a heart attack. Tank, move! Poor thing. We're doing okay so far. Here comes the next one. It's on me. I'm going to bubble. That way I don't take the big hit, I don't take the dot, and I stay nice and healthy. I won't need my bubble for the next at least 4 minutes anyway, so should be good. Watch this. If one of these worms gets the cast off, it should take someone down to about half health. The general players, don't let them hit you anyway. Okay, we're going to dispel them, and we're going to heal them up. Now, as the Demon Hunter there, he could have actually dropped Darkness and stayed alive a little bit easier. You never really want to take the boss hits without anything active. Chances of you staying alive are quite slim. No, they've done that quite well. Oh shit. Oh, bollocks. I actually have never pulled that before. My big ass! What? That one still stays in combat? Okay. Here comes the AoE, so we're going to keep everyone docked. I would have assumed that that mob there would have reset when I died. The AoE's incoming again. I'm going to pop defensive. And we're going to use Beacon. Oh, not Beacon, sorry. Divine Toll. So far, the AoE healing without using Beacon of Virtue seems okay. Indeed, that was definitely an ass pull. So this one I'm going to set the Magus on focus. If the Frostbolt volley gets cast, everyone takes a lot of damage. I'll get sacrifice on the Hunter here. Grim Fate is a focused target to one member of the group. And they sometimes need a little bit of love. When he does animate dead as well, we usually have an extra Magus that's just spawned, so we'll change the focus again. We enter the volley. I'm trying to get more comfortable with actually using my interrupt since it's melee range. I've been too comfortable with my Shaman's interrupt of late. Now this pack, I definitely stay at range. There has been too many times where this Marauder has cleaved me to death when the tank has to move. You'll see something's in Shadowwell in a moment, I believe it is. Yeah, Shadowwell. That puts it on the tank, and they need to move when that's cast. And too many tanks will just randomly move and just cleave the melee. It's not fun. For example, oh, I stand corrected. That's exactly why I don't go in melee. It's not worth it. They must have heard me, that's what it is. Don't worry, I've got you. I've got you. There are some packs that you'll realise are just not worth being in melee range. Yeah, you sacrifice some damage, but it's worth it. Okay, let's make sure we avoid all these casts. Demon Hunter's going to take a big hit, we'll put sacrifice on him. Oh, it was priceless, wasn't it? Couldn't have timed that better if I tried. It's like, oh, I need an example. Thank you very much. Let's stun that one. Let's AoE interrupt that one. I have nothing for this Demon Hunter, and he's going a little low. So we'll give him a little bit of love with some later hands. Now, I always make sure as a healer I grab this anima, this little discharged anima. I will always use this on the first spawn on the second boss. The green swirlies that were on the floor, if you do not avoid them, Paladin showed you what happens. This is great, I'm getting examples everywhere. Again, another 2 Marauders. I have seen some definite interesting tacts here, especially as a Paladin. I haven't got the talent, It's this one here, Turn Evil and Instant Cast. You can target the Magus and beat it for about 40 seconds, which will stop all of the trouble for these packs. Because in the next pack, there are 2 Magus. So the play normally is, don't die! Behave yourself. He's going to get feared. Instant dispel on a tank so that he's not running away from the mobs. The play would normally be to fear one of the Magus and focus down the Necromancer. So without that talent, I wonder how they're going to play it. Again, I'm going to set the Magus on focus straight away. That way we can see when crossbow volley is being cast. It's normally the third cast. There we go. And it's interrupted. Paladin's going to take a big hit of damage, so here we go. Boink. Love it. Here comes some more ads. It's usually a warrior and a mage. Oh, it's a crossbowman. So our life's become a little bit easier. On the next pack, it's mostly AoE damage, so I'm going to change the beacon off the tank and onto the DPS. I want to stay and make sure I interrupt this one. There we go. I'm going to bubble so I don't die. Pardon, don't die. There we go. And the next one I'm going to make sure I stun him. There we go, he's stunned. And I can interrupt the next cast. There's another Magus. I'm keeping an eye on this one here, as well as the Hunter's Health. I'm going to interrupt him. I'm going to use a defensive. Whoa! Lovely. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Oh no! Normally on the really high keys, you skip this pack. Because there ends up being 3 mages. And it's nasty. Don't really want to be in melee range for these Marauder packs. What you want to try and do is clear this corpse pack over here to get that next discharge anima. If you do want to play in melee range, you need to make sure if you've got DBM turned on, when you see Shadowwell casting, move away, because the tank has to reposition. And sometimes the cleave happens at the same time. Here comes the next sphere. There we go. Good job, Demon Hunter. Hoping they're going to read their chats, because if we overlap the discharge anima, the boss becomes a lot harder. The tank's thinking we can skip this pack because of my wonderful pull earlier. I think so. What we're on 68.98. I think we can. I think you need 68.4. I think you can. As the healer, it's normally your job to charge up the stairs and start the roleplay for the boss. Now I want to try and make sure I've got Blessing of Summer, 40 seconds, for the boss fight. I'm a little worried because the group haven't mentioned who's going to use their spears on the boss. They changed that a little while back. You always used to use 2 spears, bloody javelins, at the same time. But you cannot overlap them anymore. So you can only use one of the weapons at a time. I'm loving the spot healing potential on this. Again, I'm going to keep beacon on mostly the DPS. The tank shouldn't take too much damage here. I'm going to try and help the tank with interrupt on the boss only. So I want to make sure I've got the mages. I'm going to need to spawn in. I'm going to use the Animap. Let me bring the line close. And don't get too complacent as to which way the boss is facing here, because he'll do a frontal at the same time, and you don't want to get caught off guard with it. Here it comes. There's going to be the explosion coming in a second. Do not get caught on the edge of these explosions. It will one-shot you. If the Demon Hunter does this right, he should have his Anima Orb for this spawn of ads. Just in case, I'm going to pop Auto Mastery. I'm going to pop it now. And I'm also going to pop a Defensive, just in case. There's so much that could go wrong with an overlap. Here comes a frontal from the boss. So far, I'm quite impressed with Beacon of Faith. Now, until the ads spawn, I'm going to put it back on the tank so he gets the damage reduction. Switch to the emissary. Whenever the boss is not de-enraged, it does a pulsing AoE damage. That's what you're witnessing on the group at the moment. I'm going to bubble here. I don't want to risk going down. Okay, we'll get the frontal coming out on the boss in a second. Oh, I'm in a bad spot. That was one of the best bug kills I've had on that. I'm genuinely impressed.
Your arrival proved timely, yet the battle rages on. We cannot rest until these invaders.
This next area can be tricky. There are certain mobs that will do a cast called Gore Splatter. These collectors. As a healer or any interrupt, one must interrupt Gore Splatter. If you don't, it's group-wide damage. It will wipe the whole party. This one here. It actually did, yeah, that was really, really well done. Here comes the next collector, so I've got this one on focus, and I'm hoping someone uses Gore Splatter interrupt. Nope. So I'll instantly dispel myself. The only reason we didn't take too much damage there, someone actually used the shield from down below, which reduces the damage you take by 50%. So they used that really, really nicely. Again, Gore Splatter, so I'm going to use a little cooldown. Keep everyone nice and tight. I don't know why, but I think I might prefer this Beacon over Virtue. Not needing to press the global cooldown and immediately start being able to heal is quite worth the trade-off, I think. At least at this level. Again, Collector on focus. Oh, let's see if we can put the big guy in between. Gore Splatter, we'll pick that. And I think after this I'm going to be stole by Terra. See, as a paladin here, well, that's what happens if you've got the arrow on you. As a paladin here, there's a few areas where they'll cast something called morbid fixation. It sounds technical, it's not. One person basically gets chased. We can simply bless enough protection on them. Especially on the last boss as well, I'm going to demonstrate something where we can totally negate one of the abilities of the last boss. If we use Blessing of Freedom, nobody takes a big circle. Which is normally a problem. Tank, hello. He was almost on the floor. I'll mob's just been hit. I'm going to get hit again. And we're going to area interrupt for the Dream Codes. Yeah, it's really, really sneaky when it comes to being a paladin here. And it doesn't matter if you're Holy, Retribution, or Rot. If you're familiar with the last boss's mechanics, it was the one that usually binds a person in place. Frozen binds. If you place freedom on the person it's on before it's cast, the effect doesn't happen. It's completely stopped. I'm going to hold on to my proc here with Awakening. These next two mobs will target one person each. All you do is just drag it to the opposite side. So who's it going to be? Oh, let's see what they're going to do. They're not going to make it. Going to bop on the Hunter because he was not making that in time. I'm going to kick the Dream Blades. And here's the Morbid Fixation. It's on the Hunter. He needs to run. Oh, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Oh, that's another one on me as well. Okay, that was two at the same time. Normally what would happen there would be the tank would intercept one of the hits if someone's getting hit twice. Fixations on the paladin. Oh, I didn't notice. No, he could have bubbled. This next boss here is a definite DPS check. It costs so much on your healing. There's a creation that spawns. The longer the creation is up, the more ticking AoE damage it does. Let's avoid the frontal. All things now should be back up for the hardest part of the boss. Again, avoiding the frontal. Now, I don't think the frontal kills you outright, but I know it does put a nasty bleed on you. So whenever you can't just either play it safe and be out here, or just try your best to avoid the frontals. And I wonder why the tank was taking a bit more of a beating. Those mobs do tensorize. He already had 4 stacks. So it starts to really ramp up. This next one I will never play in melee range. He's got an aura, and the more that's in melee range, the higher chance that someone gets marked and everyone takes damage. Right now I'm looking for who the heal fixate on, so that I can see who needs emergency spot healing. It's on the paladin. You don't have much time to react. Here comes the next one. It's on the Hunter. As long as you react just quick enough, it won't kill anyone. It's on the Demon Hunter. Now this one here, I'm definitely going to need to be careful as to what I do. So, beacon on the Hunter, and I'm going to beacon on the Demon Hunter. Oh, beautiful. Affix just before the boss. Perfect timing. I'm staying sort of out the way because this, yep, Embalming Ichor. This will put a big circle on the floor and you want to stay away. If you find yourself marked with the arrow, aim it towards the boss that's on the platform. Here we go. This is where a lot of damage should. There's going to be another hook that comes out. You want to make sure the boss is between the hook and where you are. Because again, he's doing morbid fixation, but the paladin has not seen it. Oh, don't die! I didn't panic. That was a calculated squeal. Okay, we're gonna get another spawn. There we go. Now, this is the dot I was telling you about. It's doing 60k, and each time it goes up, and it stacks very, very fast. So the longer that creation is alive, the more trouble you're in. Not just you, but everyone in the party. I'm going to use Aura Mastery here because everyone's running out a little bit low there. And pop a defensive. Fixation, so I'm going to bop the Demon Hunter just so that it can stay in, just in case timing was a problem. That wasn't that bad. Alright, now I get to show what I was talking about. I'm going to swap. Oh yeah, calculated indeed. I'm going to swap Beacon to the tank. The casting damage on the tank in this fight is ridiculously high. This is another fight I will just play out in range. I don't actually have to though. So looking for someone to get focused, it's going to be on the Hunter. I've freedomed him. There's no circle. That whole mechanic gets avoided. It is beautiful to see. This one, just simply sidestep. When someone gets sent down to the bottom platform, when they come back up, for a few seconds they'll drop an ice patch. It's on me, I'll freed him. Again, no effect. It's so sneaky. I love it. Again, it's going to be the moving. The only AoE damage you'll really take in this party bit is when the shield gets put up. The longer the shield's up, the more damage it is to everyone in the group. Here we go, on the paladin, freedom, nothing. I love it. Becomes the next shield. We're going to use Divine Soul. Just to keep everyone healthy. Oh, Demon Hunter, don't play it risky. That was the effect from the person down below. Who's the next route going to be on? It's going to be on me. Freedom. Sneaky. It is so lovely when you do it. Again, here comes the circles. Simply avoid them. I have noticed as this build here, you don't really have mana problems. We're going to put up Aura Mastery. It's going to be on me. Freedom. It basically makes one really difficult component in this fight so easy. Again, avoid the swirlies. If you want to play it risky, you can stand until 2 swirlies happen and then move. It's not worth it. Just sidestep it. For the next shield, I'm going to use my wings. Okay. Freedom on the Demon Hunter. He was already running. Awakening a proc at the same time. And we step away. Because I've put Beacon on the tank as well, that 5% damage reduction easily adds up. Or just a little short on count, that's unfortunate. But for this we have to go back to the start and kill one mob. Now this is where the DPS usually get silly and cost a lot of time. Because yeah, it's only a simple pack, but if the DPS go in without tank, it's DPS. That was a beautiful run.